Good morning. I thought I'd do a little video this morning about what's going on in the real estate market here in Central Oregon. A lot of people are wondering if we're going to fall into a real estate market crash like we did in 2008. There are a couple of things that are different from 2008. Our lenders have been making really good loans. Right now, interest rates are at an all-time low and the inventory is really low. So even though we may have seen a decline in people putting their houses on the market and buyers purchasing homes over the last few weeks, we do believe that this market will bounce back and will be just as strong as it was at the end of last year and the beginning of this year.
Okay, let's just start off with an overall comparison from April 2019 and April 2020. The biggest difference that I can see on here is the new listings are down 39% from this time last year, and the pendings are down 34%. That means people are waiting. They're not putting their homes on the market. They've decided to take a step back. That means the buyers have also decided to take a step back, and they're not buying right now. As you can see, though, the sales price is holding up. It's even gone up 4% from this time last year. So that's still a good sign of how strong the real estate market is. Okay, so this next graph shows us the number of sales in the Bend area. So what I'm primarily going to look at is the sales from April 2020 versus the sales from April 2019. And as you can see, it's the last point on the graph, the April 2020. We had 166 sales versus last year we had 177. So I'm really not sure if this is going to be a reflection of the pandemic yet, because it takes about over 30 to 45 days to close on a home. So these numbers may be a reflection of the time period before we knew our economy was going to be shut down, before the schools were closed, before the restaurants were closed. People were still buying and selling confidently. So I really feel like next month, when we get the June report that's going to show us our May numbers, we're really going to see how the pandemic affected our local market. Because as you can see, if you look at every point on the graph from April to May, there's a big jump. That's a reflection usually of our spring buying season. So we'll see next month how we really were affected. Okay, so this shows us the median price of homes per thousands in the Bend area. As you can see, in April, it's the last point on the graph, the median home price that sold was $468,000 versus April 2019. I can't see that number. I think it's 466. So the prices are holding steady and rising ever so slightly. So that is a really good sign. Again, I think we'll see next month if the prices of homes that were sold were affected at all during the pandemic. The monthly inventory trend. The monthly inventory is a measure of how fast all the existing homes on the market would last, assuming A, no more listings are added, and B, the rate at which homes sell is a constant figure based on the average of the last 12 months of sales. So if you look at this graph, you can see that right now we have 2 months of inventory. So normally our inventory picks up in the summer and we get about 3 months. So when you have lower inventory, that's a pretty good indication that the sellers can still demand a higher price for their homes because there's less homes for the buyers to choose from. Check out this graph for Redmond, the median price in thousands. It's consistently going up at a nice pace. And even in April, the price has gone up pretty significantly. I think that's a good sign for Redmond. Looking at this graph, you can see that even though the price of homes were going up, the number of sales have decreased from March 2020 to April 2020. If you look back at the history, normally from March to April, there's a rise in the number of sales as we're picking up in our buying season. So I think this is a good indication, and you are starting to see the numbers in Redmond be affected by the pandemic.